Hi, welcome back. Do you remember that fairy story about the prince who went out dressed in rags so he could see for himself how his poorest citizens had to live and how he left little bags of gold in their hearths before stealthily returning to his palace? Well, that's pretty much how Channel 4's hit series, The Secret Millionaire, works. The main difference being that we actually get to see the looks on the faces of the astonished recipients.
I am Jill and I am from the East End, but I'm actually now a millionaire and I'd like to help you. You said that you could support 70 families with £5,000, so there's your next £5,000. You do a wonderful job of supporting everybody else, but I think sometimes Sabrina doesn't get supported herself. So I've got one more thing for you. I've put down £80,000 onto a house.
Oh my God! Oh my God! I know you got some problems and issues, so I thought I'll take your troubles away. And I'm going to give you a donation. Okay? No condition. You lost for words, Scabber. Come on, say something, man. Be yourself. Good on you, huh?
I've got a cheque here for £50,000.
Oh, no, you have not.
Well, the Secret Millionaire is back for a new series this week, and two of the benefactors are here now, Kavita Oberoi and Carl Hopkins. Welcome to you both. We're not going to actually show the moment that you give your money away in the clips that we're going to show of you, because that would spoil the whole purpose of the show. But they are wonderful moments, aren't they? Let's talk about you first before we see that. I mean, how did you make your money?
I set up my business about 6 years ago. And
it's IT, isn't it?
It's IT in healthcare, and it's all about providing clinical audit and training services and business consulting to GP practices.
And how long did it take you to make your first million?
A few years.
A few years.
Yeah.
And what about you? How did you make your money?
I made mine in advertising and marketing and built up an advertising business and then sold that business.
And how old were you when you became a millionaire? Do you remember? 42, something like that. Okay.
Yeah. So the premise of the show is that, for example, let's take your story first, Kavita. You have to pretend, obviously, you have to pretend to be doing some kind of research in areas which desperately need volunteer assistance. And you actually went to Ladywood in Birmingham, didn't you? And what did you pose as? What was your cover story? Yeah.
Well, I posed as I was making the story This Is Britain, and it's all about communities and voluntary work. So I had to pretend that I said I was an Asian woman who'd never been allowed to work, and for years I've been cushioned away, and so I had to pretend that my husband now was moving to the area, had been made redundant, so I had this story. And the first day I found it incredibly difficult.
To lie?
I was so conscious. You know, I thought, you know, somebody knows this is not really real.
But it's not just for the television purposes, it's not just for the conceit of the programme. You have to go undercover so you can really get to know who the deserving case is, who really needs help, rather than just swanning in and saying, throwing money around.
I mean, that is so important, because if your cover's blown, then you actually don't know who the deserving cases are, so it's really important to maintain that, and you've just got to get stuck in there.
Yeah. So we see you first, we see you here taking part in a furniture project. It's basically doing up old furniture, so which can be given to people who, very poor people who've actually got no furniture themselves at all. So let's see this.
Morning. Kavita from the Furniture Project.
Kavita Oberoi is no ordinary furniture mover.
Can we trust you with money?
Yes.
Good. There's not much of it.
She's a self-made woman with a multi-million-pound IT business.
I don't think I've ever been in a position where I've just had £8 a day, ever. Don't they see that by doing something they could get more than £8 a day? So why aren't people going out working?
She'll live in Ladywood in Birmingham, secretly looking for people to give her money to.
Did you not learn to read and write when you was younger?
No. This is reality, that's the real world.
Her time undercover will challenge the way she thinks.
Is it?
I used to be homeless.
Right.
I used to live on the street.
I believe before I started this I was quite judgmental, but since I've been here I've met so many motivated people. You know, they're just trying to fight against the system and fight against their situations.
But at the end of her stay...
Oh, don't cry.
It will be her heart, not her head, making all the decisions.
So how long were you undercover before you started writing cheques and identifying yourself?
10 days.
10 days. And just tell us about the feeling you get when you make that kind of donation of your own money. I mean, it's not the programme's money, it's your money. How does it make you feel?
It was absolutely amazing. I mean, I just wasn't prepared for the emotional side at all. You know, those people just put me on a pedestal, and you just feel so valued. It really was amazing.
Carl, did you, I mean, you were brought up in Leeds, weren't you, on a council estate, so you were well aware of the kind of deprivation that was there. In fact, although you always wanted to study art, you were very much put off it at school, weren't you?
Everybody, the people you look for advice, everyone told me no, or told me to pursue some other interest.
But it's because you did go to art college that you finally got into this, into the business you now own.
Yeah, so the art led me into design, design led me into advertising led me into running a business.
So creativity, which is what you were pursuing, actually in the end led you to riches. It's fascinating.
I guess so, yeah.
You did, well, you got out of Leeds to do this thing. You went to Easington. That's an old colliery town, isn't it?
Easington, yeah, I'm better known for Billy Elliot. It's where Billy Elliot was filmed.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yes, it's right on the northeast coast. One of the coldest places I've ever visited in my life.
And there was a kind of group of community projects here, among them a sort of city farm.
There was, the village has lost its way a little bit since the pits closed down, and 2 or 3 community groups have sprung up to try and give the kids something to look forward to. And
so what was your cover?
Again, it was doing a documentary, and mine was about how my parents, who were very working class, come from the textile industry and the steel industry in Leeds. Those industries have died and been replaced by other industries. Yep. So what happens in a mining town when the mines die? Right. What replaces it for the kids and for the next generation?
That's a good cover, because that's pretty close to the truth, isn't it?
And my first day, I had to lie to a policeman, and it is very, very strange, because I worked as a street warden, which was part of the police. So I met a policeman, so the policeman came and said, "So who are you and what do you do?" So I had to look him in the eye. So that was a good test. That was a good test, yeah. I got away with that.
Well, let's see you out on the streets of Easington.
This area used to be the best area in Easington, now it's the worst.
The uniform might fit, but Carl Hopkins is no ordinary street warden.
Can you pick that up, Carl, with you?
He's actually a millionaire on a mission, secretly looking for people worthy of his help. During his search, he'll discover an area devastated by the closure of its pit.
It'd be dramatic to say that it's left some sort of scar, because it hasn't, not on the landscape. If there's a scar, it's what the people carry in their heads.
And meet proud ex-miners fighting to keep their village alive.
Why don't you just charge your members more?
Because we're a deprived community, they don't always have the money.
At the end of his stay, he'll help keep people's hopes alive, with gifts worth thousands of pounds.
I want each pound to work hard.
No one will know their new neighbour is in fact a secret millionaire.
I know more people here than I do in the place I lived for 10 years. Maybe I should open my gates more.
Well, you've both been, like all the secret millionaires, incredibly generous with your own money, and we can't give too much away, but you really have both made a big difference. It's great to meet you both. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Good luck with the series.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.